All right, so good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Wherever it is you're joining us from, this is Spoon TV. I'm Nelson Colette. I want to say thanks to everyone for joining us this morning on this live broadcast. We bring you a live coverage this morning from the Millennium Construction Incorporated from the Millennium Estate, as some will call it, here in Margibi County. We thought to come here this morning to do this coverage specifically because of different issues that we have heard about some of the happenings here. This estate, as most of you may be aware, is a center of attraction here in Margibi County. And this particular estate is that place that a lot of people, Liberians in the diaspora, have invested some huge amount of money, especially so those wanting to return home, those seeing Liberia as that place where they can come back after retirement and have access to some decent homes and all of that. Over the time, for a very good time now, there has been calls from the president of the Republic of Liberia. There have been calls from some other citizens of the country stressing the need for Liberians in the diaspora to come back and invest in their country. The Millennium Estate, or the Millennium Construction Incorporated, is just one of those huge investments we have here in Liberia. But what are the actual stories? What is the actual happening here at the Millennium Estate? Well, at some point, some residents or some of the folks who purchased homes in this particular estate have had different views. Some have had very tragic experiences, while others have had good experiences as well. We thought to reach out here to speak to a few of the residents to know what their experiences are, especially leaving the diaspora, coming to Liberia, investing thousands of dollars, into real estate or acquiring a home, wanting to live a better life back home. What has the experience been? What does it feel like, especially so when they have had a first-hand experience right here in the Millennium Estate. So we're going to be talking to a few of them here this morning. We want you to give us update on the audio quality. Let us know as to whether the quality is good enough for us to work with, as we are now going to move on to speak to a few of the folks here. So I want to begin this process by talking to one of the residents here. She has a home, and as a matter of fact, the home we're standing right before now, she owns it. And we want to hear her story this morning. Good morning, ma'am. Welcome to Spoon TV.
Good morning, Nelson.
How are you?
I'm great.
Okay. What's your name?
My name is Kate Johnson.
Okay. You own the property here. I mean, there has been calls for Liberians to come back to invest in their home, in their country, to make Liberia a better place, to create that paradise that we all admire out there. What have your experience been like?
Coming to Liberia was it was a thought process that I could not fathom.
Okay.
Living in Liberia. I had a friend that encouraged me, said, "Kate, you can't stay in America all your life. You need to go home. You need to go home." Mm-hmm. So I came to Liberia 2017. Mm-hmm. And then I came back 2021. On my way going to Marshall, I saw this beautiful houses on the road.
Okay.
So I decided to stop and inquire. We in the diaspora giving money to family members. Mm-hmm. You guys know the story. Mm-hmm. Most of the time they eat the money and you don't get a home. So I inquired, and this guy told me that it was a joint venture between housing and this developer, Millennium Construction.
You mean the National Housing Authority?
National Housing Authority and Millennium Construction.
And when are we talking about? What year was that?
2021.
Okay.
So I went through the paper with a lawyer. I brought a lawyer friend of mine, and the both of us went through the paperwork, and it was legit. So I decided to invest. Instead of having a family member build me a house, and since Liberian government always calling, say, we in the diaspora, we don't do nothing in Liberia. Most of the time, the question is asked, what have you done in Liberia? Some of you don't even have a kitchen house. So I decided to invest into this construction company. It'll be no hassle. You're just going to pay your money and get your key. So I went ahead and signed the papers. He charged me. I wanted some changes made to mine. So he charged me extra.
Okay.
So I gave him 4 payments total. And I was done. 2022, I was done with my payments. And since 2022, every time that I come to Liberia, I will finish November. I will finish December. There were changes every time. And then finally in 2024, I decided I was just going to come ahead because I'm approaching retirement. So I was like, I don't have a home. Every time I have to stop with family members. And it's difficult to stop in other people's homes. So I was like, you know what? Let me just go back to Liberia and finish. So I came 2024, January, October, and I've been here for almost a year. Finished the home. After I finished paying him 100% of the home. Now, the reason why most of us, because some people will say, oh, you guys are stupid. Why you see foreigner and give your money to the foreigner? It was a joint venture with housing. I saw the paper saying it notarized.
And everything was
Everything
legitimate.
was legal. We signed the paper, notarized the paper with joint venture with housing. I even saw the press release with Coffee Brown. There's a newspaper press release with Coffee Brown. She was housing a manager at that time for National Housing Authority. So it was legit. And being from the diaspora, you know how things are done. And all we wanted, most people, and now the government asking us to come home, right? Say, oh, Liberians, come home and help develop your country. How will you come home to Liberia and your government give this guy a free ride? The guy told me himself, say, kid, please don't sue me because I would just get out of it.
All right. So I want to understand. Firstly, how much were those homes going out for?
When I came, the home was going for $30,000 a piece.
$30,000.
$30,000 for 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath, living room and a kitchen. But
Was that the upfront payment or the entire
the
payment?
entire payment for one of the duplex.
Okay.
But I went ahead and took 2 of the duplexes and make changes. So I gave him $77,000 cash. I have receipts.
Now, but what went wrong along the line? I mean, you saw this, you were encouraged, you brought your lawyer, a legal representative, you went through the document, everything was legal. There was a joint venture with the government of Liberia through the National Housing Authority.
Correct.
And the Millennium Incorporated.
Correct.
What went wrong?
Nelson, I can't tell you, but there were a lot of rumors going around. And I even confronted the guy, Mohammed Abdullah. He told me the previous government was the one that got him into this mess. From his lips to my ears. He told me when the money hit the account, the previous government, they take their part, and then he is left with little to do anything. But yet and still he knew that, and yet and still he was still demanding us to pay. Some people just gave him the money straight out. I couldn't give it to him straight out. I did 4 payments of the $77,000. I gave him 4 payments and I was done. And he, every time he had a new date, when the house would be ready, every time he had a new date. I consider myself being blessed because I came to Liberia every year since I invested into the property. I came every year and I stayed longer than most people. So I knew where my house was because I would come and come and torture him a little bit, and he would sit here and do a little work. And the minute I was gone, that was it. He was
So
done.
how long did it take you to get your property when you made the payment after verification and all of that?
I never. When I got done with the payment, a family friend of mine, Mr. Masakwe, helped me a lot. He became my lawyer in the end. So Chris Masakwe kept coming to Bucking, so he was trying to do a little bit because Chris kept coming to me as I called Chris and complain, and Chris will come to him. And then he will, continue. If it wasn't for Mr. Masakwe, I won't even have a home to call home. I won't even have a place to call home. We have...
But why do you think so? When in fact you paid for the property, and you're expected to get a property after making payments and all of that.
Yes, everywhere in the civilized world that has things are done. But I guess in Liberia, things never works in Liberia. I don't know why is that. But once he showed me the property, and then Chris started coming to him every time and bugging him, that's the only time he roofed the house. And then when I came 2024 for President Bouaka inauguration, then he did my POP in the house because I paid extra for the POP. I gave him $17,000 for the POP alone. That's how he charged me. And then after he did the POP, and that was it. He was gone. Nobody could find him. And he told me personally that the government messing up, and he won't be able to finish the house. So he has 27 lawsuits already. So if I add mine there, it will be 28. So it was useless of me going to sue him. And that's the time now I realized. And then my friend talked to me. She said, I just got done with mine. So kid, just finish yours. And then I worry about it.
But have you guys have situations where maybe somebody gets to pay for a property and don't get the property at all, or maybe you pay for a property and the property doesn't get to be completed?
I've seen like maybe 20, 25 people, because I've been here since last year, and they will come and see the only house on this side of the community and knock my gate, and I come outside. I saw an older guy, 80 years old, sat down on my porch and cried. He gave all his retirement money to build a house, and he doesn't have a home. He doesn't even have a spot to call home. So why would Liberian government allow a foreigner to come into Liberia and dupe Liberians out of thousands of dollars?
Who is the foreigner in this case you're talking about?
The developer.
The developer?
Mohammed Abdullah. He is a Ghanaian that came into Liberia and were giving first preference to develop a community.
In the midst of those different challenges, have you guys reached out to the government? What is the government saying about it? What are further steps you've taken, especially when you didn't get to see what you expected at some point?
When I came in October and I started working on my house, we got together. One of the lady that paid Mohammed, she paid cash. She gave him $90,000 cash, and I know her personally. She called me and said somebody gave her my number. That's how I met her. And she called me and said, "Kid, they put a group together and channel this thing to the new government that coming." Since the old government and Mohammed were in bed together, they channeled the new government. So we put ourselves together. And we form our whole homeowner association. We have a president, we have a vice president, secretary, financial. We put ourselves together. We approached Joseph Bouaka government, right? We went through housing to the justice ministry to at least get redress, to do something to see if Mohammed have properties here that can be sold, or something to give some people their money back. Because some people don't even have a spot to call home, and they retire. They brought all the things on the ship. I know a couple of them brought all the things. I brought all my things. I have family members. Chris kept some of my things. My mom kept some of my things. So it was okay for me. And we went through housing. I was one of the people that were privileged to go to the meetings. And we went to a meeting with the Dwazon people that own the land. We went to a meeting with the SG from the Justice Ministry. The housing lady, we contacted her. But we didn't get any solution. There was nothing told to us. Because the Dwazon people were after us too for the land. They were like, "You guys need to take your house off our land." So they were.
I want to understand that part just before we wrap up and speak to the next person. You pay for a property, and I want to believe you have documents. You have legal documents.
Yes, I do.
Does that ownership include the land?
Yes.
Which okay.
The
So-
ownership include land. We pay for land. We pay for the probating of the deed. We pay for. He was even trying to. We even pay for water and sewer, trash pickup, insurance. Or we pay for all that into getting the property. We're all calculated in that.
But how did it get to that point where maybe the Dwazon Township now started to request that you guys should leave their land?
One day we were just sitting here. We saw the whole group of guys coming around and say the land for them. And then they called us to a meeting. We went to the meeting to Justice Ministry. And then all these land deed paper came out that the land original owner were the Dwazon people. And they gave it to the military to use it as a training ground. And then Ellen decided, I guess, that they were going to take part of it to make it commercial. So now Abdullah, this developer, is supposed to pay the Dwazon people for the land, which he didn't do. So because he didn't pay the Dwazon people, and then everything went down on her, so they decided that they wanted the land back. So we had to re-buy the land from the Dwazon people. I had to get them $2,200.
After paying for the property, you have to give extra $2,000
to the Dwazon people for half a lot.
So this entire property is situated on half a lot.
I think so. Half a lot. It's not a whole lot. It's too small. It's half a lot.
What do you want to say finally, just before we talk to the next one?
It is, I know this present government might say it was the previous government that did all the negotiation and they don't have anything to do with it. But government is continuation. Where the person stops and fails, you pick it up and you run with it. This project should have been President Weah's legacy if they had done it too much.
His name is coming up?
Yes.
You mean?
That he was part of this whole deal. He might not like it. If he wants to talk to me, no problem. I'll tell him. Mohammed Abdullah told me about him too. Now, a month ago, a fellow by the name of Pepsi Yeke came here and said all the houses, 16 of them is his.
You mean Pepsi Yeke?
Pepsi Yeke. Up close and personal. He and I told him he can own anything here, but this particular one in the fence, he can't touch.
But on what grounds did he claim 16 of the housing units?
He said he paid Mohammed $300,000. So I would really like to know what job he was doing to own 30 units here. So he came here putting stop work to area. He brought a Lebanese guy and was trying to own, and we really caused noise. That how come he left? But he still started breaking into some and say it's his. And the whole thing is a mess. So I hope President Bouaka can come to our aid so that at least some people can recoup their money because they don't have properties and they already pay full payments.
Wow. Well, thank you for talking to Spoon TV.
Thank you.
Let's talk to our papi. Hello, sir. Welcome to Spoon TV.
Thank you, Nelson. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. It's good to have you on.
Thank you.
At what point did you acquire a property here at this estate?
2020.
Okay.
We acquired a semi-executive property down the hill from Ghana.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, what has your experience been? What was it like?
My experience is similar to Mrs. Johnson's experience. Mr. Muhammad took my money, close to $150,000 cash.
Close to $150,000.
I paid him extra for a kitchen to be finished, and he never did that. All right.
What was the initial agreement? How much were you supposed to pay for the property?
The property cost $130,000. Semi-executive property.
Okay.
It's a little bigger than this one in Ghana. Okay. All right, so it costs about $130,000. All right, that's how much we give him cash. If you go down to they call that side America, I have a property there. My brother has a house right next to mine. They call it the Two Brothers House.
Okay.
Yeah, those are our estate.
Okay.
Yes.
So, have you had experiences where some Liberians in the diaspora will come to you, for example, and tell you about payments they made without getting properties?
Yes, I have had experiences. Okay, not only an experiences. People have come and complained. We were fortunate because I'm a retired school teacher. I came here and sat on Mr. Muhammad, and he finished our home 75%, and we had to complete it and put the kitchen in for us to move in because we had nowhere to stay. So we finished our homes, and we are living here now. My home is completed, but at my own expense.
At your own expense?
Yes.
Okay, so when you paid the money, when you paid for the property, what specifically did the contract or whatever capture that you were supposed to get after the payment?
I should have gotten a SEMA executive completed and the keys handed to me. Okay, with windows, doors, tiles, bathroom, everything in.
Okay.
But I got a SEMA executive home 75% finished. No doors, no kitchen, only bathroom, no door, no room doors, no electrical. I had put electrical in there also.
You need to run the wires?
Yes, and the fixtures.
I want to understand this. You already have a legal document that says you're supposed to get your home completed 100%. The doors are supposed to be installed. The electrical, the wires are supposed to be run and all of that, but you didn't get it.
I did not get those. All right. But because of the time frame, I was moving home. So I sat here and finished it, hoping that Mr. Muhammad would reimburse me for my expense.
Have you been reimbursed?
No. He hasn't even picked up my call.
At what point did you get to know about this investment? What was that thing that encouraged you to invest your money?
Well, the government was a part of this adventure, all right? So we believe in our government and we trusted the government. That's why we decided to invest with this guy. Okay?
And so, but did you verify some of?
Yes, we did. We went to a house and talked to them. Then they verified that Mr. Muhammad was legit, and he was approved by the government, given permission to come and develop this site.
Okay, so have you? Did you also experience a situation where after maybe paying for the property and all of that, then you have the Dwazon Township coming to you asking you to rebuy the land that the house is situated?
Yes, we all had the same experience. We had to purchase our land from Dwazon because Mr. Muhammad never paid them a cent for the 100,000 plus acres they got here. All right, he never paid them 1 cent. So they came in Liberia. The land takes the house. So they came and said that your house is on our land. So we had to repurchase the land from them.
In your case, how much did you pay?
I think $2,500 for 3/4 of a lot.
3/4 of a lot.
Yeah.
That's about a lot and a half or a lot and a quarter.
No, it's less than a lot.
Oh, less than a lot.
Yes,
And you paid 2,500.
500. Yes,
Wow.
yes.
Given everything that's happening here, what's the next course of action? I mean, a lot of people are asking, what did you do then after you realized that you didn't get 100% completed home that you expected? The keys were not turned over to you. In fact, there were no doors. The electricals weren't done. In fact, you had to rebuy the land that the house is situated on. What did you do then?
We haven't done anything since we moved back here because we believe that we'll be wasting our money. Mr. Muhammad has been arrested, and before he could get to the court, he was released by a judge. All right, they were called and said, "Let that man go." So it's a waste of money.
Wow.
So since we got our home, we can sleep in. we're just waiting. After we are organized, we might file a complaint as a group to the court and then follow through. But Mr. Muhammad is walking around here free after stealing more than $2 million from Liberians that the government is encouraging to come home. It's very, very disappointing.
Well, approximately how many persons do you know that have had this experience?
About 100% of our people here have had the same experience.
I mean, the entire estate, approximately how many persons or homeowners are we talking about here?
We have more than 75 members of our association, and nobody is satisfied here because he owes everybody something. People that are living here finish their home on their own, and Mr. Muhammad is supposed to be reimbursed. Nothing has happened. So about 75 members that own homes here are not satisfied.
What's your call? What do you want to say finally? Just before we.
Well, the government is encouraging our people in the diaspora to come home. All right. I would tell those in the diaspora to be very careful because the government is promising them the similar situation in Bensonville. All right. If they're going to treat their citizens like this, they should be very careful. All right. Make sure that this isn't another Muhammad stunt the government is trying to pull on us.
All right. Thanks for talking to Spoon TV, sir.
Okay.
All right. So, folks, we stay here. We're in Dwazon, not Marshall, but Dwazon Margibi County, at the Millennium Estate, the Millennium Construction Incorporated, and we are here talking to residents of this particular estate. They're sharing their experiences, some of what they've been through since they left the diaspora to come to invest in Liberia. At some point, we're going to take you around the estate. The president of the group or the association is here, Mr. Sirleaf. He's going to take us around the estate. You're going to see the different compartments and everything that are in here. Yeah. So, Mr. Sirleaf, welcome to Spoon TV.
Thank you, Nelson. Happy to be here.
Yeah. As the president of this group, I know you have a property at the front row.
That's correct.
At what point did you get to know about this investment, the Millennium Construction?
So I, like many of my other victims, was informed about this somewhere around the late 2021. And it was then that I decided that I wanted to invest in what I call a starter home, somewhere to be when you come to Liberia for visit and other reasons. So I went ahead and invested around that time.
Approximately how much did you invest in this property?
So like Kate and others, initially I had thought it was a good investment, and I put in around 52,000, I believe it was. If I were to count all of the extra expenses, probably around $56,000 for one of the completed duplexes. That was the initial plan.
And did you get what you paid for?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. In fact, if you even, I'm trying to see what I can compare with what I was told after over a year. You see this little foundation,
You mean the
this-
little foundation, the one right here?
yeah, this thing that has no real foundation on it. That's essentially what I was shown to be my property after a year of waiting. So
You mean there was no elevation, just a foundation?
there was zero elevation, just what that foundation looked like, and I was told to come back in 6 months and everything was going to be completed. And that was somewhere around mid 2023 thereabouts when all of this came to a head. And I told Muhammad, I said, listen, I can see as a business owner myself, I can see when a business is no longer thriving and when that business is dead. So let's cut to the chase. Give me another property that's nearing completion, and I will finish it myself because I don't believe that you have the capacity to complete this place. And that's how this whole snowball started to roll, and what ended up being me ending up in the property that I'm in. I had to put in upwards of another $80,000 to finish it, but that's what it took to be able to get back to at least walk away with something rather than walking away empty-handed.
You paid. You just mentioned 80,000. Initially, you paid about 56,000.
Correct.
How did it get to the point where you had to pay about 80,000?
So the property that I ended up taking over to finish, we entered a negotiation, Muhammad and I told him that because I had already paid for a completed property, I was now going to then take that same property that was supposed to be a turnkey solution and put more money in it.
Okay.
Rather, if I'm going to...
All right, so we're back on. So as you see right here, this is one of the properties that was additional work was done on. Mrs. Johnson, we spoke with earlier, happens to be the home of the owner of that property. But I want us to come back to that place where you were talking about how it got to that point where you had to spend up to 80,000 from 56,000. I would like you to just take off from there.
Yes, so when we finally settled on a particular property, Muhammad wanted me to pay him additional sum of money for the renegotiated property on top of what I've already paid. At that point, I told him that if we were to discuss any more finance arrangements, we had to do it in the presence of the National Housing Authority as well as the Ministry of Justice, because up to that point, he hadn't lived up to any of his own obligations or any agreements. And so we did go to housing and we did go to justice, but every time they invited Muhammad for the negotiation, Muhammad refused to show up. And it was then that housing and justice collectively agreed that based on the arrangement already in place, that it would make sense for me to go ahead and take possession of the property and go ahead and invest and finish it. So it was then that I brought in all the contractors, and we went ahead and had to put more money into the property to get it to where it is today.
So now you are the president of this group, the victims. Approximately how many persons are we talking about here?
So the current membership stands at about 76. So this group started as a collaboration between two separate groups.
Okay.
So you spoke with Kate earlier. So Kate and others were part of another group, and myself and Mr. Sando Kanen, who is based in Atlanta, Georgia area in the U.S., we started another group of our own, and we try to bring the community of victims together.
Okay.
And eventually the two groups merged into one larger group now that has a membership of about 76 members. And it was really just to support one another. We needed to know, what are your problems? What are the issues you're having? How do you solve this issue? And how can we learn from you and you learn from us? And eventually we try to work on a program that allow all of us to get on one page in the legal sense of the word, right? We don't want to be lawbreakers while trying to go after people who have themselves broke the law. And everything we did by the book. Okay. And so far it has worked out in a sense where a lot of people now starting to feel a little bit more comfortable knowing that their properties are now secure, even though they had to put more money into it. But it's better to have had something in your possession rather to have lost it all. So today people you see a lot of construction going on. People are now working and finishing
going on,
finishing their own properties.
I see a lot of other constructions going on across there, and then this entire road leading to that end as well. But what's the next course of action? What is the group contemplating on? Have you guys reached out to the government? What is the government saying or doing about this? Since, in fact, you guys had the assurance when you got to realize that the National Housing Authority was involved with this process.
The sad story that is the institutions that are designed to protect Liberians is an unending tale. It has been told many times before, and it's going to continue to be told until such time that we as Liberians realize that enough is enough. The National Housing Authority, we've reached out on several different occasions, numerous different ways. And depending on who goes to talk to who, Nelson, that person may get some kind of reprieve, and maybe that reprieve is just to address their particular issue because they have connection with somebody. But other people come with the exact same problem, but they don't know anybody. They're not willing to spend a little bit of money here and there, so that person gets little or nothing. So we've approached the Housing Authority. Housing Authority at one point in time said they were intervening. They even came and they brought I believe it was the new MD that came and tried to meet with the community, the people of Dwazon, and talk to them about giving the deed over to housing and have housing then issue the deed to the estate owners. That ended up being a complete failure because the goal was to then up the cost of these half lots that they built these houses on these already victims, which I thought was a little bit, I mean, it was crazy. The government are supposed to protect you, know that you've already paid your money for this, but then they turn around and say, why don't you give us the land, we will resell it to them, and then we'll add a premium on it because we need to make money too. So that didn't go anywhere. Thankfully, the people of Dwazon stayed on our side more than they stayed on the government side because they realized if anybody, they would trust us more than they would trust the government. So in the end, the story of the government and the institutions that's supposed to protect us, it's a story that's probably still untold, to be honest.
Wow. I understand there are some of the victims who want to speak on this as well.
Correct.
Let me see the possibility of maybe you can get like two of them that we can speak with briefly, just before taking a tour around the estate and seeing what the actual condition is here. So maybe we could get a bit closer. So
just for context, for your viewers, so a lot of our members are based in the diaspora, and they have obviously decided to join this conversation via a WhatsApp group call. And a lot of them now are available. They are watching us on our computer, and they all have their own stories to tell. So we would like for at least one or two people who may have a story that they would like to volunteer and add to this conversation to at least be a part of it.
So who are we speaking with first?
So right now is
Ari?
Marjua Ari? Okay. We will start with
Yes.
Ari, and then after Ari, if anybody else, you can just please let us know. So Ari is one of the residents of this area, and she also has her property here in the Ghana area. So Ari, please go ahead.
So good morning, welcome to Spoon.
Announcing.
Yeah, good morning, welcome to Spoon TV.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
All right, give us a background of this whole thing. How did you get to know about the Millennium Construction, and how much did you invest into it? How did it go? You want to start from there?
All right. Thank you for the opportunity. First of all, I am an interior decorator. So I came over in 2023, the beginning of 2023, to visit my cousin who has a mini mansion in the area not too far from where the estate is, like 10 minutes.
Okay.
So we saw it, we investigated, and we felt that it was a good option to take because I have two kids in America, and I wanted my kids to have something. I didn't want to stop with family or friends whenever I went to Liberia. So that's how it started. So I went to the office and got all the information about purchasing the property. and the property 2-unit was going for $50,000, excluding the other financial, like the down payment for this, down payment for that. So in all, I paid in April and May of 2023, I paid Mohammed about $56,000. So I came back to the States, took out of my 401k, my pension, and paid that money within 2 months, because he told me if you pay it within 2 months, you could get a cheaper rate. He was selling it for $60,000, but if you pay within 2 months, you will get it for $50,000, and that was the agreement. And I have all my documents to that. So I paid for the property. Now the property was supposed to be finished within a year too. We went back and forth. First thing he showed me was a foundation. Then he moved me after we started the argument. I said, I can't. I pay you everything. He moved me to a skeleton house. And we started another argument with him because, no, you promised a finished property. I don't owe you nothing. So he finally carried me to a house with a roof, but there's no window, no doors, nothing. So here I have paid for a property in its totality, and I'm getting finally, because I was so frustrated, and my family and friends said, well, just take the one with the roof and go ahead and finish it. And I'm right behind the property of what's the lady there next Kid. I'm right behind Kid. My building is right behind Kid's building. So after that, when I decided, after he had eaten my money, when I decided to reconstruct the building, here comes another Liberian guy that said the property was his. Now that is the issue, Nelson. The issue here is most of us have paid everything that we were promised. We got our documentations, but this same property has been sold by Mr. Mohammed. I wouldn't even call him Mr. By Mohammed to 3-4 different persons. And then you the initial person, you start to fix your property. Then the next person come, and he got up fighting with each other. That's the sad part. We are going right now. I'm in court with this guy. Why? Because he comes back after I'm fencing, I'm fixing, I have paid more than 55,000. He come back and tells me, say, oh, this is his property. And Mohammed trying to lean with him because the man does not owe him. The man has, I think, a certain amount balanced. He wants from the money back to this guy. He's kind of side. The trade here, if a property, you believe we are contributing to the economy of Liberia. Things are not cheap. Money does not grow in America. We want to come. I'm in my 60s. I'm getting ready to come home. But here am I with my own Liberian brother, other than Mohammed, fighting for a property that has been sold to 2 or 3 persons. That's not fair. We need our government to come. We need somebody to step up.
So in the midst of everything that's happening here, have you tried reaching out to the government? I know you guys are in court, but have you engaged the government? What is the government telling you about this? Since in fact you knew that the National Housing Authority was involved with this process, which gave you some sort of assurance to invest your money into it. What is the government saying? What is the National Housing Authority saying to you?
Nothing. We had the lady who's in charge of national government. We had her one time. She came on the line with us, with our organization, and they said they were going to do something. After that, we heard nothing. We tried to get back in contact with her. We heard nothing. There's nobody, even if they try to get in contact with her, there's no response. So how can that keep going on? There's nobody fighting. And my thing is, I believe everybody in like the government's official are aware of what's going on. But everybody's trying to take advantage of the situation. So as long as Mohammed is promising people the same building over and over, different buildings to government officials and giving them money, everybody just seems to abandon us. And it's sad. We are Liberians. How can you let another person come into our country and evade us like that? I mean,
All
just
right.
take away our money and nothing is done to him. It's sad.
Well, thank you for talking to us. Thanks for talking to Spoon TV. I'd like to speak to one more person just before we take a tour of the estate and I show our people what the reality is here. At some point, we will try to talk to the Dwazon administration here, the owners of the land. We hope to speak to the accused as well in this particular process. So, can I speak to the next person here? Hello.
Is anyone else
Okay.
interested in
So,
sharing?
all right. So I think then we can move on. So we
Yes,
want to add
yes,
this.
I'm in.
Okay. Yeah.
My name is my name is Gladys Clark Turkey.
Hi,
I'm
Gladys.
interested in sharing. I was one of the first people that bought property from Mr. Muhammad Millennium.
Mhm.
Like I purchased 3 properties over there. Um, I paid a total of $73,000,
A total
and
of
I have
a total of $73,000. Was it for the three properties combined or for each of the properties?
yes for the 3 properties combined. Yes, I did.
And when was that? What year was that?
That was in 2021.
Okay.
2020.
So then what happened after the payment? Did you?
Well, my sister was there. She the one was running behind the property, and she assured me that everything was going to be okay. She the one was with Mr. Muhammad when I came to Liberia in 2023 because they said my properties were going to be finished, completed, and I was going to get my keys. Unfortunately for me, when I got there, she had this lady working with him named Michelle. Michelle took us to the property, took us to a property, but there was one that was incomplete, and the property was not completed. When I asked her, she told me, she said that in June of 2024, because I came to Liberia in December of 2023. I stayed in Liberia until February of 2024 and I left. She promised me that June of 2024, the property was going to be complete. Unfortunately for me, my sister passed away in February of 2024. I mean March of 2024. So I had nobody there. My brother is there working working on the property now, on 2 duplexes, but there's one that I don't know where it is. I have no idea of, and I pay my money. I mean, he has my money. I have all my documentation, and the reason why I purchased the property where, like I said, sometimes you come home, you don't want to be living with relatives all the time. And
Mhm.
because we were encouraged to come home by our government, come home and help, invest in your country, that encouraged me too. The Sankos were the ones who told me about the place. Mr. and Mrs. A.B. Sanko, they were the ones, they might like my family here. We all
So
in Chicago. So
with the
I
situation now, what's your call to national government? What would you like to say in closing, just before we take a tour around the estate?
Well, I would like to say that we believe in our government, and our government is really disappointed because we went to the election and cash to help us with up until now she has. So Liberia, I've been to Liberia. I know what it is and what it's like. We are asking, pleading to our present, to our current president, to please see what he can do because this is very discouraging, very very discouraging. How do you expect us to come home and invest in our country when you have people like Mohammed Abdullah who is there taking our money, no accountability, selling houses over and over to people that people against each other for homes. That is not fair. We're supposed to be having our keys for our property. We're supposed to be having our deeds for our property. We signed a contract and that's what breach. So I think that the government should step up to the plate and take the initiative because they were part of this deal, according to the contracts.
All right. Thanks a whole lot for talking to Spoon TV. We appreciate. Thanks a lot, and we are at this point going to take a tour around the estate and talk. Let's say give our people an actual picture of what everything here looks like. Yeah. So thanks a lot for talking to us. So folks, we are still here. Spoon TV. We are coming to you live. We are coming to you live from the Millennium Construction Incorporated here. We're still in Dwazon Margibi County, where this huge investment is. Liberians across the world, Liberians in the diaspora, have trooped in here, invested thousands of dollars to acquire suitable homes, in this location. And they've had a story. They've been talking to us. They have been sharing their views on what their experiences have been since they acquired the properties in this location. Very shortly, we're going to take you around to show you the different areas here to give you an idea of what this estate actually looks like. Bulk of the folks we've spoken here with are calling on the government of Liberia to make some swift interventions because some of them have said they paid for the property here, but they didn't get to receive the 100% completed homes that they paid for in this location. Some of them said that even the township, the Dwazon administration or the owners of the land had to get back to them, engage them to rebuy the lands that the properties are situated on. But they've also said to us that in the agreement, in the documentations for the property, the land is included. That is, once you paid for the property here, you automatically have ownership to the land. But the Dwazon administration or the owners of the land, the land here, the folks who accordingly sold the property to Mohammed, the owner of this investment, reached out to most of them, asking them to rebuy the land because Mohammed did not get to pay them the full amount that was agreed upon. Some of them said they paid for their homes but could not get those homes after 2 or 3 years. There have been different stories coming out from here, but we're going to remain posted. We will now shortly take you around the estate here to give you an idea of what everything here looks like. Keep watching Spoon TV. I'm Nelson Collier, and thanks for joining us. We are now going to make our way. So let me see if we can do this. All right. So yes, let's do this. We're now going to take you around the property here to give you an idea of what everything here looks like. So thanks for joining us. Here with us, still here with us is the head of the group, the group of Liberians who have invested in this property. As you see at the far end there, another property with this Carlington there. So, I mean, I see what appears to be three segments of this particular estate. What's the real story here behind these? Because I see one segment is here, and
So when this place was being developed, apparently they had planned on labeling each segment by some country.
yeah,
And so this area we're in currently, they called it Ghana.
okay,
For one reason or another, I guess because Mr. Abdullah is from Ghana. I don't know what other reasons there is, but this entire segment, they call it Ghana.
okay.
So we're currently in the area that is called Ghana.
So Ghana Ghana is the name of this segment here in this estate.
Yeah, in the Millennium Construction estate.
Wow. All right. So and you have Liberians here and this segment of the estate seems to be that place that is really developed. So many homes that are thought to be completed already.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is the majority of the homeowners that are part of our organization make up the bulk owners of this Ghana area.
Okay.
All right. So further down this way is the home of the organization that we're all in. Our former president, Madam Joa Benson.
Okay.
Our home is the one on the very end there with the silver roof.
Okay.
So this one here, I believe, is the home of Dr. Tupman, another member of ours in our group. This home here.
You mean this
fence,
one?
Yes, this one in the fence is another member of our group. I probably shouldn't be shouting out people's names just in case they don't want their names to be mentioned in public, but this is another member. So essentially, all of these homes are.
There's something more like construction still going on here. Most of the
Yes.
homes here I see.
So
Like this one.
all of these people decided they would just take their homes and finish it themselves. So this is part of that larger conversation I was telling you about, that people chose to not be complete losers. They don't want to lose it all. So they decided to take their homes and finish it themselves. So, and also they purchased the land from the Dwazon people. So if you see that one that says stop work.
Yeah, and I was wondering too. This is an estate. Why do we have stop work?
So this is another play by Muhammad. He has this gentleman by the name of Fofana, I believe is his last name, who goes around. So if you remember, there was a case against Jimama Wolokoli.
Yeah.
That case is the same gentleman who is going around putting stop work on these houses. He claims that he works with the Millennium Construction. He is the security head, the head of security for Millennium. And he goes around depending on the property he sees, and he believes that the wrong people are completing these homes. So he goes around and puts stop work on them.
Wow.
I have personally spoken to him about that, and I told him that I think it's best he brings a list of the homes he believes are being occupied illegally, and we will bring our list of victims who have documented evidence of payment, and we will cross-reference the two lists and see whether or not we have somebody who is truly encroaching, or is he just mistakenly identifying victims and thinking that they're doing something that they're not. He has since not provided me that document, but he's the one that goes around putting that stop work on these buildings.
Okay, so let me just make a quick adjustment here. Some of our folks are saying that they're not hearing you well Okay, so probably I can have this. Maybe just stop here on your shirt. Well, yeah, just put that under. Okay, yeah. So that we can have. All right. So I think so folks, just let us know if you can if you're getting us very well. I think I
Hope
see
they
the
can hear me now.
yeah, I think the guys can hear you now.
Okay.
Let us know if the audio is better now. So this is the main road, the major road here uh, through this entire estate. So the segment we just left is Ghana, right? That
Yes.
entire segment is called Ghana.
Yes.
All right.
And
So
back there's approximately 90, I believe it's 92 plus homes or at least structures that have been started in that area.
all right, about 90.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Homes. So
About 90
90
homes.
individual duplexes or homes that have
I
actually.
see AFL personnel here. Well armed. Do they always come here? What's about the AFL personnel?
Yeah, so before that, real quickly, you see where it says no trespassing property of
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
LEC.
Yeah.
So this here belongs to LEC, and this is where LEC they're about to put. They're
Good
about
morning.
to
Good morning.
erect
Okay.
a solar farm.
Okay. So the
So-
LEC is supposed to erect a solar farm here.
Yes.
Okay.
Good morning. And then the military
Mhm.
is also part owner of a segment of this land.
Okay.
And they usually do patrolling just to ensure that people are not encroaching. They will go around, and if they see illegal cornerstones being placed in certain areas, they will take them down. They have been very helpful
Is
to
this-
the community.
Is this part of the estate too? The construction?
Interestingly, yes.
Because-
So all of this is supposed to be, but this is an example of what happened after this whole thing just went the way it did. Now people started buying land and deciding to bring all kinds of things. This is somebody trying to build a warehouse or a shop, one of those warehouse thing where they will have the store on the bottom and the apartment on the top, all those, just everything that is no longer residential. And we have since been talking to Public Work to intervene on our behalf because there are zoning laws on the books that require certain structures to not be erected in certain communities. And so Public Work has been helpful. We hope that they will do more because we also reached out to them about the roads. As you can see, the roads in and out of this place is deplorable. As we go further, you will see that the roads themselves are not good enough, especially during the rainy season. It gets a lot worse. So Public Works, we reached out to them, and they have said that they're going to be willing to help us. And we just want to take this opportunity to thank them in advance, while at the same time calling on them to please live up to that promise.
I heard you talk about a solar farm that is supposed to be constructed here by the LEC. Then it brings me to the question of how do you guys access electricity here? Is the LEC currently here? Do you have an LEC grid here that supplies this estate?
So the short answer is no.
Why?
Because when this property was first established, again, going back to the developer, they were supposed to put in a formal proposal to LEC requesting the infrastructure be brought in to electrify this entire place.
Okay.
All of which was embedded in our payments. What ended up happening is LEC came in this area and they ran electricity straight through Marshall all the way to the airport, and they never came in this development because the developer did not make good on that pledge. So we have since gone back to LEC. We've asked them to come and intervene because this area needs electricity. They have since sent their assessors into the streets. These guys came, they did an assessment for this whole place, the mapping, and then they just since disappeared. We've made several attempts to go back to them. We've had people come to us and ask us to just pay them, whether it was 13,000, one group said 17,000, another group said, another person said they can do it for 10,000. They will bring the transformer and they will do this, even though LEC has committed to do it, but LEC is complaining that they're waiting on some kind of report, the assessment report that was supposed to be done by the fuel agent, and that assessment report has taken months and it hasn't shown up yet.
We just passed that. Sorry to interrupt you on that. We just passed the middle of the estate.
Yes.
The back end you said is called Ghana.
Yes.
What is the middle called?
So the middle section now, I believe they were calling it America. So
America?
Yes.
Why did they call it America?
We have to go and ask Mohammed what was the rationale behind the naming convention, because you see where these high-rise buildings are on the road there?
Yeah.
Those high-rise buildings are part of the whole America segment. If you remember the gentleman we just spoke to, Mr. Will Sanko. So right next to the high-rise building, there are two yellow houses there.
Yeah.
So those two yellow houses over there, that's the house that Will was telling you about in his testimonial. He talked about how much he paid for that property, and today he has nothing to show. Well, he had to come and finish it because it was not done for him.
So Mr. Will lives in America.
Yes.
All right. As per the way the segments, the sections here are being named.
He's from America. He worked and retired in America, and
he
came
comes to Liberia
live
and lives in America. That's interesting. But anyone seen this, given the way everything is being presented, we appreciate it a lot. A great environment, the structures look pretty good, very, very good. The architectures and everything, and especially for the extra work that were done at some of those units that I saw, it looks pretty good. I mean, why the high-rise buildings at the back? One would say that these ones should be at the front.
Yeah, I think it's partially because directly across the road is our EBK military barracks.
Okay.
And I think legally you're not allowed to look in that fence. We're not allowed to see what's going on. So these high-rise buildings will give you visual access to that place, and I think it's against the law.
Okay.
So if they're high-rise building, they have to be put back here instead of on the front row. This home we're driving past right now, this unfinished high-rise structure, as you can see, it's been boarded up. It is currently occupied by squatters. And the owners, nobody can account for who the real owner is. And we're really appealing to people who own these properties to please come and take possession, because the other time the military had to intervene to raid this place because it was becoming a mini drug den where people were, turning it into a little place where you come and buy drugs.
Wow.
See, so I think at the end of the day, we have to be able to account for a lot of these. So all those who own these properties, especially these big ones that are unfinished, we really are calling upon you to come and take possession, because you're leaving this estate very vulnerable. And those who are investing their money to finish their property and live here, they are left in an insecure and unsafe environment if these structures continue to remain unoccupied or being occupied by people who are going to expose the estate to illicit activities. All right.
Wow. I see extra fences are being constructed here.
Yes. So this property this land back here was bought by by another lady who did not buy her property from the Millennium Group, but I think she bought the land from the Dwazon people. And so she is erecting her home back here as you see, her home is being erected behind the front row homes there. Okay. So this area now on the left, going this way, is called Liberia.
So the front road is called Liberia.
Correct.
The middle is America.
It's America. The
and
back,
the back is Ghana.
Correct. As we have come to know it and understand it.
Wow.
Whether or not, but this is another example. You see, if you see the road condition here, you see what the erosion is doing. So this is some of the reason we put the request out to Public Works. And the community, we have made attempts to resolve some of these issues because they have gotten worse over time. But as you can see, it's not going to get any better. If you look down this alley on the right, you will be able to see even more erosion. So this is completely inaccessible, actually, just because of what the erosion has done.
And you have some of the residents there. Do people live there?
Yes. So if we get to the end here and go around, you will be able to see that there are residents there.
I see no trespassing on this property.
Yes. So
Why is it so?
Well, some people are worried that someone's gonna come and occupy their home because a lot of frustrated, victims when they come, they're like, well, I have my receipt, I made my payment, I don't have any home. You know what? I'm taking this one. You see what I mean?
Wow.
And then I will finish it myself.
And in some cases, that one they're taking belong
And
to another
belong
person.
to another person, correct. And we have at least 2 of those cases currently within our group that we're trying to resolve as well.
Wow.
So
Do you sometimes get to see the owner of this estate? Do Mr. Mohammed sometimes come here?
well, Mr. Muhammad, he comes here secretly, as I have been made to understand. Nobody has been able to see him physically.
Are you sure we're not going to get stuck there?
No, we should be fine. We should be fine. So, yeah, from what we understand, he comes here in and out. He will slide in real secretly in, vehicles that are dark and tinted. And then he will just leave out of here and nobody would know that he was even here.
Wow.
So, yeah. But
I see another trespassing, no trespassing
yeah.
here as well.
So, yeah, so somebody owns this one here.
Okay.
Again. But these are all, and then as you can see,
This place as well is.
yeah. So around the back there, we're not gonna go there because of how bad the road is. But around the back there, that's another area. But obviously, people are living in this one, and apparently this one here as well. So the one that I think during my testimony, I told you about the one that Muhammad originally wanted to give me when I asked him for something that I could complete. And I believe it was one of these ones here. I don't remember. It's been a while now. But I believe it was one of these ones that he wanted me to occupy and finish it myself. But the public work engineer told me that it was not a good investment because of the erosion. That it was going to eventually be eroded unless I'm willing to do a lot of work on the landscaping.
Okay.
So another interesting thing that has happened here, and when I turn around, I want you to focus on that sign over there, that red sign, because there are others who themselves were not part of the original plan that this community had, and they recently came and purchased homes here, even though all these homes were already spoken for.
Okay.
But they recently came and purchased homes. And from what we understand, you come and purchase home that already belonged to somebody. And then there's these signs that were put up that said no trespassing. And then they claim that it was by order of the Liberia National Police.
By order of the
Yes.
Liberia National Police?
Yes, and that's what the sign says. And I don't know why would the police be ordering for the personal interest of an individual, so to speak, around this particular property, because this should be, if anything, a court matter. But this sign, keep reading, by order of the National Police, and then something about the Ability family or whatever the case is. So I
Something
wonder,
about the Ability family?
yeah, you will see the
Owning a
sign
property
for yourself. Yeah, you will see the sign for yourself. And this has been a pain point for a lot of people.
So
you
let
see.
me
So
let
there's
me
the
just
sign
take,
right there.
okay, so
It's
it
a private
says-
property, no trespassing violation. Violators will be persecuted.
I want to zoom in
And
on
then
this.
you see,
Okay.
I don't know if you can see where it says
Yeah.
LMP and then sign the Ability family.
Wow.
And
Sign.
these,
Yeah.
I
So
don't know who this Ability family is, but they have run roughshod over this place because these homes were originally the property of other people. These were not free homes that Muhammad can just give away for whatever support he's getting from whoever, right? So the original owners now have to sit and suffer because somebody big, I guess.
at this end, I see what appears to be so many abandoned homes or vacant homes that are not occupied. I mean, almost the entire road, just a few homes here are being occupied.
Correct. So
So if people are paying for these properties and not getting them, a lot of people in the diaspora have paid and they've not gotten access to the property. Why then do we have a lot of vacant homes here? So many homes that are not occupied.
because, and I think I don't like to speak without having the facts to support it, but I will speak a little bit along that line because based on the understanding that we have, a lot of these homes are owned by people who aren't really comfortable coming out and putting their names on it,
Okay.
and for one reason or another, so they rather just stay in the background and let the property be in the condition that it's in. And like I said originally, it exposes all of us to unnecessary danger because these things staying in the condition they're in, they're prone to squatters and people coming and using it for drug purposes and other things like that. So,
Like even on the front row here,
correct.
we have so many homes abandoned, uncompleted
Yep.
here.
So this one here belongs to, I think there's a gentleman who recently came to take possession of this one. This one next to it, I don't know who. As you can see, the bushes are overgrown here. And yeah, so this one up front with the blue rim around the roof used to be the office for the staff office.
Okay.
I believe it was recently sold. Some people say Muhammad sold it. Other people say, I don't know who sold it. But it was recently sold, and then they built whatever this thing is around it. Because it was just that white building. But now they
Okay.
put this thing around it, and nobody
So this
understands.
used to be the office.
This used to be the staff
Does
office.
the Millennium Construction have an office here?
Yes, their office was this for the staff.
Okay.
And that was Muhammad's main office, that brown
Okay.
structure
The one fire
directly
here
ahead of
there.
us.
Yeah.
Yes. So that was the main office. So this is one of the first homeowners who lived in this community. This is his place. And this is the one that recently became occupied by Angie Mama,
Okay.
Mama Wole.
Okay.
So this one here,
For which they're in court.
for which is in court right now, correct? And
Okay.
this one here belongs to a gentleman. I don't know if I recall his name, but he's recently came back and started doing some work on it. So
Are you in the know of maybe other past officials of government, ex-officials who have properties here? Because I listened to the testimony of Mrs. Johnson when she said that at some point Pepsi Yeke it came claiming 16
yes,
of the housing units here. And there are other names of ex-officials of government as well. And then the next concern is, why are these people not coming out? Why are some of them not speaking out? Were they even victimized in this process as well? And if so, maybe why are they not coming out?
you know, Nelson, that's the $1 million question, right? Because you will think that if you're a government official and you were actually victimized,
Yeah.
this should be a no-brainer, right? You should come up, you should speak against this. So hard for me to speculate and say that the government, officials, they got a reason, and it's a good reason why they cannot come and participate in this discourse, because they can influence the outcome of this thing if they want.
Yeah.
But they choose not to, and one can only be left to speculate why they will intentionally not speak to this. Beyond that, I'm not going to speculate,
Okay.
but I just want to make that point. But there are a lot of names, government officials.
Is the estate extending at the far end there?
No, so this skeleton of a structure here was supposed to be what they call the mall. So there's supposed to have been a shopping mall
Here in the estate.
here for the estate. So this whole place was going to be the mall. So this is what remaining of it. The rest of the land, that's the military.
Okay.
Okay.
And
so
then you
all
have
of
the
that.
14 military at the far end
And then
there.
the far end is the 14 military hospital and so on and so forth.
Okay. I think it's been a great one having you to take us around here so we get to see what the reality is, and getting the folks to talk to us as well. We thought to do this live coverage to establish, as to what the reality is here at the Millennium Construction, this estate where a good number of Liberians, especially in the diaspora, have come and invested a whole lot, just as a way of giving back to the country and making sure that the country gets to benefit from the resources they've acquired over the years in the diaspora. And we've been speaking to the folks this morning, taking our people around here as well to give an idea of what the reality is here. Speaking with us just briefly is Mr. Sirleaf, who happens to be the head of the group. And he's been talking to us, giving us an idea of what the reality is here. Anything you want to say in closing, Mr. Sirleaf?
Yes, thank you, Nelson, for this opportunity. I just want to thank the entire Millennium Construction estate group, all of those who are victims of this experience. I just want to thank you for the grace and the patience and the endurance that you guys have all shown, because you got to be a special kind of person to have the resilience that Liberians have to endure something like this and keep going. These people have, endured a lot. Nobody can imagine spending hundreds of thousands of dollars and coming to a shell and the person who did it to you is walking around free. So we just want to first of all highlight the the fact that Liberians have shown a strong sense of resilience, just as evident by how they've handled this. Secondly, I want to highlight the call that we're trying to place to our government to please protect us when we are asked to come and invest, having worked abroad, not for reasons that we chose, but some of us had to escape the Civil War, among other things, and we chose to be in other countries where we worked hard and we took our resources and come and invest here. The least we can ask for is protection, particularly protection against foreigners who are out to just gain what they can from a population that may appear to be gullible. But at the same time, most importantly, they're very vulnerable. They're vulnerable because there are no institutions to protect them. So we just want to call on the government to please institute policy to protect the people of this community and every other community that have people spending tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars for things that everywhere else would make sense, but here has to always dissolve because of, one would argue corruption and many other reasons. And thirdly, we want to again call on the government to please intervene. The road network in this place, the electricity infrastructure in this place are required. This project should not be sitting like this. First of all, this property faces the Rawa Field Highway. Everybody coming from the airport, all going to the airport. The corridor leading in and out of this country, this is visibly in your sight. You see this on your way in, you see this on your way out. At the very least, come and join the estate. Help us so that we can collectively bring the infrastructure needed to make this place the beauty that it was originally intended for. Beyond that, I want to say a special thanks to Nelson and his crew, the Spoon Network. Thank you guys for your help. And we hope that this message resonates with the entire country and that everyone who benefits from this know that the Spoon Network has been extremely instrumental in that. Thank you, Nelson.
Well, thanks a lot for talking to us, Mr. Sirleaf and Mr. Will at the back. You want to say anything closing?
Mr. Sirleaf has said enough
Okay.
for the whole community. We appreciate that Spoon has sent you out here to expose the wrong that has become most of us here. And we hope something will be done to assist the Liberians that wants to come home, that have come home and have been scammed of the investment retirement.
Okay.
So, yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much for talking to us. Folks, that's how I would like to end it. Thanks a lot for watching Spoon TV. I'm Nelson Collier. Have a good day, and bye-bye for now.